let's see. SAU Board Policy Development. Anybody want to speak to that? Anyone have a motion? Anyone want to speak to that?
I'll make a motion that the SAU board adopt Robert's rules.
I'll second that.
I think we need to have rules to conduct the meeting by, as Dr. Littlefield pointed out on that last motion. Generally, a table would not have discussion, but that's only under Robert's rules. So if this board hasn't adopted Robert's rules, that's why I didn't make an objection to that, because we have not adopted that as a method that we work on. So if we adopt Robert's rules, then we can continue further meetings with those types of common rules for motion, order, and those types of things.
Do we have an adoption on Robert's rules? How are we affected?
I don't know. One of the tricky things about policy is when you have no policy and you develop policy, you usually hire somebody to come in and they do a record search. There could have been a vote at some point in time that the SAU board took establishing its rules. I'm not aware of any, but that doesn't mean it didn't take place. And the board, if that vote did take place, just because you forgot it, does it not mean it's binding? I'm not aware of it. That doesn't mean it didn't take place.
It's also not a bad practice when you elect a new board for that board to vote to conduct meetings under Robert's rules, because Robert's rules actually may not fit under this agenda item. It's not policy. It's rules of order for a meeting. It's not a policy by which we're going to execute, or we're going to direct the superintendent how to act as a policy, but it's a rules of order about how we're going to make motions and speak and all that type of thing. So I've been on boards before where each time the board sits again for a year, they re-adopt Robert's rules, or they could change to some other form of rules or not adopt them.
What rules are we following now? Are we not loosely following Robert's rules?
Presently, we're on the Trickett rule.
But aren't we following Robert's rules? Isn't that what we've been taught when we go to the school board class that we take when we first start, and they give us the stuff? I don't know. I mean, that's...
Well, under Robert's rules, with that table would have had no discussion. A tabled motion under Robert's rules gets a second, you have to vote. You can't make a case about tabling or not tabling. But we've had a discussion, there's nothing wrong with that, but because we don't have Robert's rules, then I can't make an objection and say, no, we gotta vote, because there is no rule. So.
But I think the way that we've been doing things has worked very well for many years. So.
Sounds to me like if we adopt Robert's rules, we're going to be filling out more paper.
Yeah, but
This seems, I think we loosely follow them now. I think we generally.
It's a guideline.
So I'm not sure that I would be in favor of that. I think we are surviving okay with that. If somehow there's a policy development committee that says that that's what we should do, we can have that discussion at that time. I think we're served okay with our existing lack or historical rules.
My kids would disagree heartily.
I would just like to speak to that, particularly for the minority. When you have no rules, or majority rules, and to me that when we are three boards put together to oversee an entire SAU, I find it unbelievable that this board doesn't want to have rules of order.
it's kind of funny you say that. When we adopted resolutions and you're the one that says you don't want to abide by them. So now you want us to adopt rules and you want us to.
Hang on, let's
Excuse me.
stick to the point.
These are rules of order for a meeting, just like what happened. If I have the floor, the chair would then recognize the next person, and I respect that. But in this meeting, you are free to interrupt me, because we don't have those rules. And I would argue that the rules make us all more polite when we're talking to each other, and people know when they have the floor and when it's their point to talk. And I don't know what you're laughing about, Nicole.
I just find it very funny, Dave. We could roll the tape back and you can see you cutting me off a minute ago. But
I'm
if I
not
do it to
saying
you,
I didn't.
It's very, I just find
I'm
you.
not saying I
humorous.
didn't. There are no rules that prevent it. That is my point.
Right.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
No.
No?
Are we, I think we're supposed to be discussing whether we want to kind of.
I made a motion. to
Yeah.
adopt.
There was a
There
second
was a
motion.
motion.
That's me, there you
Second
go.
vote.
Dave,
Hi,
you
yes,
know,
Becky.
Motion,
Yeah, but it wasn't seconded, was it?
No,
Yes,
no,
I know.
second, yeah, I
can't speak to the
remember.
motion unless you get a second.
So,
There you go.
Oh, you can't,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sounds good. I hear the second.
Right.
okay, so we have a motion and a second to adopt Robert's rules, correct?
Correct.
And if there's further discussion, if not, we'll take a vote. All those in favor to adopt Robert's rules, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay.